There we go. That sounds good. Alrighty. Um, Yay! Oh, I'm so excited. Hey guys, so today is my first live stream. I am super excited about this. Um, so if you are here and you're watching, this is live, so feel free to comment anytime or ask me a question. So I wanted to get on today and talk to you guys about fatigue because it's a really big deal. It's a really big issue that I know a lot of people are having. And again, I wanted to talk about it. First off, also, welcome to the group. I'm super duper excited that you are here. And again, this is the first Facebook Live. There's going to be more to come. We're going to talk all about anxiety, emotional health, and what we can do with herbs and nutrition to remedy that, and how effective these things are. So I'm super excited, yay. All right, so let's get started talking about fatigue, since I know that's why you guys are here and what you want to know. So let me pull this up really quick where I can see it. Okay, cool. All right, so let's talk about fatigue and talk about why it's important to get to the root cause of fatigue and not treat it, not treat it, I guess, as fatigue, but treat it as a symptom. The fatigue is a symptom of something else that's happening in the body. A lot of times, these things that we experience that are negative health effects are usually side effects of a bigger problem. And they are things that our body is shouting at us and saying, something is wrong, pay attention. We're going to do this to you until you solve this problem. So when you have these things, it sucks to have them, but sometimes it's a blessing in disguise because sometimes they will let you fix the bigger issue at hand before it gets even worse. So that's another reason why it's really important not to take medications to cover up symptoms, because when you're doing that, you're ignoring your body that is telling you that something is wrong. And it's not a good idea. Like if you have a broken leg, be like, oh, I've got pain. I'll just take pain pills and keep walking on that broken leg, right? Fatigue is the same thing. These symptoms you're having are the same thing. It means something else is wrong. So let's explore what that is. So again, the reason fatigue is a really big issue. You might just think, oh, I'm a little bit tired, but it goes beyond that if you're experiencing this. When you experience fatigue, a lot of times it affects your ability to do good work at your job, and you can't think properly, and you've always got fuzzy thinking. No matter how smart you still are affected by this. Sometimes it affects our relationships. Good God, people come home from work and they're too tired to be intimate with their partner or to spend time with their partner. All they can do is veg out in front of the TV and go to sleep because they're too tired. That's a huge deal. Sometimes it affects our ability to spend times with friends and family, especially if they're like a drive, if you have to drive an hour to go see them and you're too tired to do that. Travel in general, we just can't do it because we're too tired. And honestly, guys, we just have less time during the day to follow our dreams when we're tired. We aren't able to do what we know we are capable of. And that's why it's really important to go after this and solve the problem. So what causes chronic fatigue? Guys, this is different for everyone. And you're going to hear this from me over and over again in this group. The thing that causes the health problem is going to be different for everyone, no matter what health problem it is, no matter what symptom they are experiencing. And that's really, really important. So some common causes of chronic fatigue, one of these is poor nutrition. The next common one is the body not absorbing nutrition. And sometimes this happens when people eat really well and they're still sick. It's that their body isn't strong enough to actually process what they're putting into it. This can be a problem. So this results in a lot of vitamin and mineral deficiencies that we have to supplement back up to get our energy up. And sometimes that's still not enough. Some things that you can do that can cause chronic fatigue, like in your history, things like intense exercise. If you are running marathons or other types of intense sports where you are physically exhausting yourself, that actually wears down our body. If you've experienced physical injury, like a car wreck, these sorts of things, something that really jars you, that hard-hitting force, or maybe a concussion, something like that. Sometimes these can dislodge things in our system, and they can get into places where they aren't supposed to be, and they cause havoc. A lot of times autoimmune conditions can start because of some kind of jarring injury like that. Other things that can, again, shake us, not necessarily physically, but emotionally. So life-altering events like death of a loved one, abuse, other types of family issues that really just might rock you at your core. Infections are a huge one. Things like mono, that causes fatigue. Certain types of viruses and bacteria, like Lyme. Lyme is a huge one. This causes fatigue. This virus causes fatigue. And there are a whole host of other co-infections that come with Lyme. People with Lyme are usually very sick. And a lot of times these infections go unnoticed. You can have them for years and not notice them, and doctors won't catch them. And these generally wear down our immune system. They wear down our body, and we just feel sick a lot. And sometimes the only symptom of the sickness is fatigue. So it can be different for everyone. Everybody responds differently to everything. Another thing that can cause fatigue is extreme dieting. So some of us, probably most of us in our past, have tried weird diets or things where we did like low fat or vegan, or maybe we did extreme paleo where we were only eating meat and vegetables, and just like, I don't know, like when you take a diet and you don't have the variety that you need to support your body, a lot of times our body can go into vitamin and mineral deficiencies or nutrient deficiencies. And those are things that we desperately need to function. And sometimes we're robbing our body of those important things, especially when you have food cravings. That's another big indicator that you are doing something wrong dietarily wise. Medications are another common cause of fatigue that a lot of people don't think about. If you're on medication for, say, depression, a lot of depression medications, guys, cause fatigue. A lot of anxiety medications cause fatigue. It's a side effect listed of these medications. So it's something to check if you're experiencing this and you want to figure out why you're experiencing it. And then the really big, obvious one is lack of sleep or insomnia. That's probably why you're tired. Sorry, I addressed all the complicated ones first and then got to like the simple answer last. But the simple answer is that you're not sleeping. And so, again, this is a health condition. If you are waking up in the middle of the night, like you just pop up and you're wide awake and you're like wired and you're like, I can't go back to sleep, that's your body talking to you that something is wrong. And sometimes if you have trouble going to sleep, that can be a problem. You can establish better sleep hygiene, and that can help. But if you've already done that and you still aren't sleeping, there's something biochemically wrong with your body, like your hormones are out of whack, something is going wrong. And that's a symptom that we need to pay attention to. So, what does this vitamin deficiency do to the body? What does this lack of sleep do to the body? I'm going to try to explain this to you guys in a general fashion because it can get complicated, and our bodies are like fantastically detail-oriented, and the way they work is very, very specific, and very complex. So I'm going to give you an overview with Chinese medicine on how this kind of works. So one of the things that chronic fatigue is tied to in Chinese medicine is what we call kidney yang deficiency. And kidney yang deficiency is directly related to adrenal fatigue, where our adrenals are not producing the hormones that we need to keep ourselves awake and functioning. And Chinese medicine kind of equates it to like a vital energy in the body. And this vital energy is not pushing and propelling us upwards like we should. And it's a very, very common cause. Another thing is that our kidney yang energy naturally declines as we get old. That might be one way to think of it. Yang energy tends to be that force that gets us up and going, and it really is energy of the body. Like kids have a ton of yang energy. And then we have the opposite coin, which is the yin, and we think of that as the fluid, slowing, and the calm. 1 second, let me check Facebook and make sure that I can see if anybody has posted something. So I know I'm on a roll, but hold on 1 second. I want to double check and make sure nobody has asked me a question. Again, if you want, ask me a question at any time. Just let me know what's going on. Okay, we're good. Let's get back. Oops, okay. So you should be able to see this now. All right, so kidney yang deficiency. And we talked about how if you don't have enough energy to get up and go, you're going to be tired. And another thing that can happen is maybe you have enough yang to get up and go, but you have too much yin. These things need to be in balance. So the yin, again, is the calm and fluid and flowing part of the body. But if you have too much of this fluid, guess what happens? You get watered down. And so this can cause things like lymphedema, like fluid accumulation in the joints. You can have things where people get like fluid in the lungs because there's too much yin accumulating, or maybe there's not enough yang force to push the fluid out. That's one way to kind of think of it. So again, these are like overarching concepts for you to understand. And so a lot of times people with fatigue, I will actually see that they have a lot of fluid accumulation in the head or the upper body because that's what's causing it. And sometimes they'll get sinus infections because of this problem, and that's what's causing their fatigue. So it really just depends on the purpose or the cause, what's causing this. And again, a lot of times what I see with fatigue is improper fluid circulation. This is in the lymph or the lung. Most of the time, it can be elsewhere as well, or kidney yang deficiency. This is very common. Another thing with fatigue that I see a lot is cold in the body. And in herbal medicine, we think of cold, again, like think of what ice, like compare ice to like hot water, right? Ice is stiff. It feels cold to the touch. It doesn't move very easily. And these are things that your body will do when it's cold. You have stiff joints. They're creaky. They feel better with application of heat. That's cold setting into the body. You can have people, again, lack of hunger. That's cold most of the time. Our metabolism just isn't up and going like it's supposed to. Cold limbs, cold hands, cold feet, that's cold. And when our vital fire is out, we don't have the energy to go and do the things that we need to. So we can remedy that by using herbs that fix these problems. Again, these are overarching concepts, but the way to fix these with herbs are very precise and efficient, because herbal medicine has directly developed with these concepts, so they were built together. So if you look for something that addresses kidney yang deficiency, you will find an herb for it, because these systems have been developed together. But if you go in and you say, I've got like an autoimmune disease, autoimmune diseases are related to tons of different things. So you could try, 10 different herbs for autoimmune disease. That might be what's causing your fatigue. And you only get results with one of them. However, if you knew that your problem was caused by kidney yang deficiency, you could try 10 different kidney yang deficiency herbs. Every single one would work. That's why this is powerful. That's why the system is powerful, because you get it right when you find the problem. So these herbal approaches are really precise and efficient. They're developed together, blah, blah, blah. What else did I want to say? I think that was it. So I really wanted to show you guys today that fatigue is caused by a lot of different things, and it's not going to be the same for everyone. And sometimes it sneaks up on us, and it's hard to pinpoint what caused it. But the other point I wanted to add is that you can address these things with herbs and nutrition. Once you know the cause, then you know how to address it. So if you want to get over fatigue, the first thing you need to do is find the cause and then find the right way to fix it. So you also need to mitigate stressors, because when you find the cause, it might be that you're working too hard at work. Maybe you never got over the loss of your father or mother or something like that. And maybe you need some emotional support. So once you mitigate those stressors, once those are no longer freaking you out all the time and you're in fight or flight mode, once that's gone, herbs and nutrition are enough to restore your health to where they need to be and give you that energy back. They really are. It's all you need if the stressors are mitigated. And again, something I really want to emphasize to you guys, you heard it in the webinar, I'm going to tell you again today, you're going to hear it all the time. But when you use herbs, you need to do this properly, because you can make yourself sicker. You can make yourself more tired. You can make yourself more susceptible to other types of diseases. It's very common. You can make yourself very sick. And it sneaks up on you too. It's not just like, I took this herb and now I'm like throwing up. Sometimes that happens, but that's usually not it. It's like, I took this herb for like a month or two and now I've got an infection, or now I'm cold all the time, or now I've got an upset stomach. And it's like small stuff, but it's because you took that herb. And if you keep taking that herb, you're going to keep getting sicker. So I really advise everyone to get expert guidance in this field, because I don't want you to make yourself sicker, and I want you to do it right, and I want you to feel better. Like, that's what this is about. That's what this group is about. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask me and I will help you or direct you to somewhere where you can get help, because it's really important. It's a really powerful tool that I want you guys to have access to. And I am here for questions if you ever have them. So, all right, just let me know what you want to know and I will post it. I'm going to be doing an anxiety video very soon as well. All right, guys, take care. Ah, okay, bye for real this time.